Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are back again talking about how Ethan Van Sciver actually believes that having Dean Cain on board for the Horsemen is a bad thing, and having memberships is apparently a bad thing now. All of a sudden, having memberships, according to both Ethan and Shane, is bad for business. It's so weird that you have memberships yourself on your YouTube channel and you have a subscribe star, but for some reason, because Rippaverse is doing memberships, which by the way, he's hosting it on his own website, so he gets all the money. There's no cut for YouTube, there's no cut for subscribe star. He gets all the membership money directly to him with the memberships, because if a lot of people sign up, he gets all the money. But it's interesting to me how also we got some good old Rippaverse attractors like Vaughnster who want to sit up here and cry about Eric again, over and over again. He claims he's not about the drama. He's focusing more on crying about Eric than working on his Terror in the Trenches Volume 2. Probably because he won't hit six figures. Who knows? I personally don't care. If it does hit six figures, good for him. If it doesn't hit six figures, good for him. We still have the pre-order collection, 50 days left on the campaign, 423k, 6,900 books sold. More up to date here on the Rippaverse Comics Twitter page, 7,000 books sold, 400k in sales. Well, it seems to be over 400k in sales, so obviously it's not up to date there just yet. But it's interesting that Night Ronin, shout out to Night Ronin, who brought this tweet to my attention from this clown EvS, who sits here and says, Eric July is miserable. All of his comics are underperforming expectations and hopes. I highly doubt it, because he's making animation. You're not making animation. You're not doing much but just talking about everybody else. And he has to maintain a front. He was supposed to be making $10 million per project by now, which obviously is a little bit of an over-exaggeration. He's trying to be a little trolly here. Then you've got Horseman, which is doing slightly better, a tiny uptick, and he doesn't even own the thing. Yes, the quote-unquote tiny uptick in comparison to your comic Fearsome that's got 122k versus 423k, which is, what, 4 times as much, a little bit over 4 times as much than your latest comic venture. So I had to actually see for myself, because I asked him, I said, is this tweet real? And he says, yes, it's real. I had to do a little bit of investigating, and yes, it actually is real. This is a real tweet that this man clearly put out because he's such a clown and has nothing going for him. You're so miserable. You've talked about Eric July for 116 trash casts, even though there was an episode that you claimed it wasn't a trash cast, but you know it's a trash cast. You just don't want to admit that you're miserable, you're lonely, you're boring, and you're flopping and you're failing. 116 trash casts, bleeding subscribers, and your project being at 123,000. But let's get into this clip here where it has you and Shane talking about how memberships are bad.
And become a member for as little as $5. Appreciate you.
Hey guys, I'm Eric.
It's embarrassing, dude.
Which, by the way, Dean Cain wrote a book, I think it was called The All-American Lawman, with Gabe Altaïb for his company, Big Man Comics. So, and as I've shown in my previous video, the man's net worth is 8 to 10 million and has a $4 million mansion. I don't think he needs this, but it's cool that he's a part of it, because people know who he is, people loved him as Superman, and he's a cool guy.
Hold on a second.
Imagine, like, okay, you literally hired Superman to sell memberships? Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's like, oh, not
Are you effing kidding? Are you mad that you didn't think of it first?
you got him involved in this. It's like, that is not cool. Become a member of Eric July's, like, Rippaverse fan for.
So you're mad about it. You don't even sound like you're even interested in really talking about this. You just sound like you're coping and seething and molding on the inside.
You don't think, is Eric not giving them, like, Eric is giving it to them in the hole in every single way possible. I mean, it's like, you know.
Really, the only person that's doing that here is you. You keep taking money from people and not producing product. Rainbow the Brute is over 4 years late. You claimed that it was going to be done by the end of August. We are now halfway through September, and you're still not done with Rainbow the Brute. We could just tell by that simple fact that Cyberfrog 3 is going to be late as well. And you keep on trying to inflate the numbers of Cyberfrog 3 by creating new variants for Cyberfrog Blood Honey, the first, newest Cyberfrog book. You're a clown.
How much more does Eric need to extract from these people? It's like for nothing, for absolutely nothing at this point. You become a member of the Rippaverse, and then what the hell do you get? What does he give you?
Oh, I don't know. He gives you discounts on merchandise, free Ripazine magazine with your membership. If you go to the higher tiers, you get free shipping, priority shipping, early access to pre-orders, and if you hit the Ultra Mac, you get an exclusive ISOM #1 cover D that's worth more money on the aftermarket than any of your books.
You for that? You get
Somehow,
nothing.
look, they call, and we've been called grifters, okay? But this is the ultimate grift. You're literally you're paying Superman to beg people to pay Eric.
He's paying him to be the voice of the Horseman in an animated series. Of course, he's going to have Dean Cain speak about memberships when it's going to help create the Horseman animated series.
Eric July to make commercials to sell you a comic.
Yeah.
Pretty.
It's silly. I mean, it really is bad. Like, Eric's just talking. Have you seen Eric, like, lately with the, he's sitting there with, what's his name? Heel versus Babyface?
Yeah.
Sitting there going over this. I'm starting to think Heel versus Babyface is making fun of him.
Now and then. Yeah, I don't think, like, Eric's going to save Western animation. I think
Again, sounds like an opinion that nobody seems to care about.
it's an excuse to sell them Megamax.
He's made animated shorts for ISOM 2. He made one for Alpha Core #1. He made one for Gooding, and now he made one for The Horseman. So what's the problem? He's always said if he got to a certain point with money that he makes for the company, he would reinvest it and create animated series for his comic.
Sell
Yeah.
them Mac. Just, and every time he says Mega Mac, I think it's mac and cheese.
By the way, the Mac memberships, it's a name he's used forever for his YouTube memberships. You should probably look up what that is before you try to make fun of it.
Every time I hear it, I think it's Mac Tonight. And then I go, it might be a good time for the Great Taste. Might be. I don't know for sure, but it could be. Yeah, we're going to save comics. It's like
The thing that CG used to be about before it brought in a bunch of degenerates and you're just sitting there crying about a black man being successful in indie comics?
We're going to save animation. We're going to burn down Hollywood. We're going to do this and that. We just need your money to be able to do it. Not just to make a...
Just like how you need people's money to continue to create Cyberfrog that you're never going to create, to create Rainbow the Brood, to create Rainbow the Brood action figures, to create your little cars, to fund a car wrap for Camelot. I don't know. Why do you need money to continuously do that? Oh, because you don't have any money left because you keep gambling it away.
cartoon. But we need to destroy the corrupt woke animation system that currently governs Hollywood. We can do that together, Shane.
I wonder how many people got interested in the comics of Spider-Man, Batman, Spawn, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, from just simply watching, I don't know, Batman the Animated Series, Spider-Man the Animated Series, Spawn the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. I wonder how many people were like, oh, I want to learn more about these characters. Oh, let me go pick up a comic book based on the character that's in this animated series, and let me learn more about them. It's almost as if you're an idiot. It's almost as if you don't understand how the market works. But again, how many people watched the MCU movies and wanted to go to a comic shop and learn more about the characters, but they couldn't? Because you watch Iron Man in an MCU and they give you Ironheart when you go to a store.
It's like, you guys, it'd be good if they just said, could you give us some money so we can make another cartoon? We like our cartoons. Do you?
No, you got to buy the membership. You got to buy the membership like it's a charity. Like, almost like he's trying to treat it like feeding the Ethiopians. Somebody should actually do a cut of Eric July and then cut to Ethiopians with flies crawling on them. And you need to donate to the Megamac or Horseman Animation.
Horseman Animation. Donate to Megamac, and then they will make more of those ear-splitting, eyeball gouging cartoons that we just looked at. We saw one of it. That, by the way, Shane, that was the pilot Did you know that?
If he's a pilot, that's a airplane crash. That's
I haven't seen
Shane is so stupid.
a pilot like that since Muhammad Atta.
Oh no, a 9/11 joke. You're a punk from New Jersey, dude.
Horseman would be a great start. So please help us make it happen. Head over to ripaverse.com and become a member for as little as $5.
wait. Pause
How
that
is
for a second.
$5 going to help make animation? By the way,
It's not. I guess if enough people, I mean,
Oh, Shane almost had it. Shane almost had it. If enough people do it, it'll be able to be created. But again, it's interesting to me that the Horseman is actually also outdoing Inglorious Rex 3. That's what's even worse. It's also outdoing Inglorious Rex 3. Oh no.
isn't this the animation a commercial to sell the product? Like, why do you need donations?
to make commercials, yes.
Did Eric say he needs donations? Or did he say, yes, we could do more with this? I don't think he needs it, but it would be good for people to sign up for the membership so they can do more.
It's not interesting. So the animation. Well, no. Yeah, it is. It's
Should the product be paying for the commercials at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, look, I had a little bit of an animation done for Inglorious Rex 3. It's really not all that.
Oh, he has an animation done for Inglorious Rex 3. Oh, it's almost as if you're a hypocrite and you're doing the exact same thing for your comic. Wow.
Expensive, but I did have a friend approach me wanting to do it, and he gave me like a buddy price. He just wanted to do it. I don't. The animation that Eric's doing isn't like elite or anything, but it technically it's the commercial for the product, and you do have good business. And I know I'm not Eric, but good business is you take.
Clearly not, because your business is nowhere near the caliber of the Ripperverse. Because if you knew anything about it, you'd be close to it. It's interesting how people like, I don't know, I think John Malin and you guys were like against building his own website to reap the benefits and the profits, and yet now Shane specifically has his own website to sell his comic now too. So it's interesting how that it went from, oh, that's a terrible idea, to you're actually doing it now.
Taking some of your profits and you're reinvesting in your company, but Eric's asking people just to donate $5 and invest in his.
See, donating would be that someone gives him $5 and gets nothing in return. That's what donating is. They're signing up for a membership similar to literally anything else that has a subscription nowadays, and you actually get things in return for your membership.
His company.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I don't know. It doesn't sound good to me. Like, it doesn't really make that
Congratulations, you have an opinion.
much sense.
Also, Dean Cain said horsemen.
Yeah,
It's
that's not right.
horseman. It's horseman. Horseman. Dean. Horseman.
You should know the name of your character. It's not Superman. It's Superman. It's not Horseman. It's Horseman. Everybody knows this. I've made it clear. I think I'm the #1 person to talk about Horsemen.
Because you're the #1 pocket watcher of the Ripperverse. Of course.
On the internet. Yeah, like, listen to us from now on. It is kind of...
Nobody should listen to you when your business is flopping. The Gooding did better than your last 4 crowdfunds. And now Horseman is doing better than your last 4 crowdfunds. And doing better than Inglorious Rex 3. Because it's literally written by a legendary writer in Chuck Dixon. You're not known for good writing. You're known for good art. Congratulations. Again, nobody cares. Joe Ball, John Dillard, Alex Ross, and Jim Lee are better artists than you, EvS. These are just the facts.
embarrassing that Dean Cain is doing this.
It's embarrassing that you're still pocket watching Eric 116 trash casts later. That's what's truly embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing for you to look at yourself in the mirror and think you're doing something to Eric's business. It's embarrassing that you wake up every day and the only thing you think about is Eric July.
You know, trying to hawk Patreon memberships.
Well,
But you have a subscribe star that gives people trading cards that I've heard you stop doing.
well, I mean, maybe there's a big deal in it for him later on.
I'm gonna get Terry Hatcher to hawk mine. What do you think of that?
Get Gina Carano.
And then literally turns around and says he's going to get somebody to push his subscribe star, by the way, his membership. But membership's bad.
To push a little cyber fraud. I stopped there. Got Heather Swain.
Gina Carano wouldn't touch your project in the slightest, considering how much trash you talk about the people that she actually likes, like G&G and Drunk 3PO and FNT.
Diary of Heather Swain. Get later on.
I'm gonna get Terry Hatcher to hawk mine. What do you think of that?
Get Gina Carano to push a little cyber fraud. I stopped there. Got Heather Swain. Diary of Heather Swain. Get
Ooh. Yeah, if I could
Again, another book nobody talks about ever.
Gina Carano to do the voice of Heather Swain, then she will also tell people to back my subscribe star and join
Oh, back your subscribe star. Oh, what's your subscribe star? A membership. Ooh, hypocrites.
the channel, and go to my eBay and buy stuff on eBay from me.
They're wanting us to get the Hawk Tua girl to start.
And nobody cares. So moving over to this clown, Rich Lee, who says, "Why the F are people gargling Joe Bennett's genitalia? He's a never was nobody. His most relevant work is Immortal Hulk, that people still talk about. And Chuck Dixon has always been mediocre. He's not a legend or all-time great, yet people still talk about all his great Batman runs, all the other comics he's done. People still talk about and buy those, by the way. People talked about how great Rock and Roll Ninja was. Who was on that project? Chuck Dixon. People still think Alpha Core is great. Who wrote that? Chuck Dixon. Why do people buy the Horseman? Oh, because Chuck Dixon is writing it. Oh, they talk about how Joe Bennett's great with his art book. That's why people bought his art book. People loved Alpha Core's artwork. People love Horseman's artwork. But his most relevant work is Immortal Hulk, and apparently Chuck Dixon is mediocre, even though people are literally buying the Horseman for Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett. Make it make sense. And then, of course, you have Vaughn. I don't get why Eric uses animation as a carrot to get people to become members. Because people in the past that like the Rippaverse have asked for animation and animated series? Oh no, giving your fans what you want is terrible, according to this clown. Why don't you, again, care about Terror in the Trenches Volume 2 and stop crying about Eric Daly? It makes no sense. 5K subs only gets you a single 10-minute episode of Horseman. I don't think so. 10K gets you a season. Okay, so that's $5 at 2,000 members. At $5 a pop, that's 10K. Sounds like begging for solid monthly income to me. Well, I mean, his monthly income would be the product he actually sells and not crying on Twitter every single day like you do. Instead of offering cool behind the scenes into the making of the books to members like many do on Patreon. Again, Patreon takes a cut. He could just crowdfund one full 22-minute pilot episode. That could work. Yeah, let's take business advice from the guy who doesn't have a successful business as the Rippaverse. The guy who's constantly saying it's going to fail, and yet it's still going. Let's listen to that guy. But of course, you also have this clown. It's very funny how irrelevant this clown is with his participation trophy that he's still trying to talk about on Twitter. Yet when he talks about his crappy drawing of Muhammad, 10 likes. When he does the same exact drawing, but with Eric July's face, 166 likes. So you have zero relevancy outside of talking about Eric July. At least I can talk about other things, and I still get loads of views. Oh my god, I just had to include this because this was absolutely hilarious. Shout out to this individual, and shout out to Night Ronin again for bringing up this beautiful tweet right here. It's absolutely hilarious how these guys think they're the big dogs of indies when they can't do anything. They literally just sit there and cry all day, and they can't do anything to stop the Rippaverse from rolling on and on and on. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button, comment below how you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all, that way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or live stream. And if you'd like to further support the channel, you could just hit the super thanks button down below the video, or you could join the channel for just $1 a month. You do get access to emojis during live streams when we go live Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, nothing is obligatory, of course, but it does go a long way to help support the channel. If you don't want to do that, that's okay too. Just come join in the live streams when we do them, Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate you all for watching the videos and joining in the live streams, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.